Hey Exploration Nation, today we're going to take a look at a dam that holds normally about a 12,000 acre lake, and it's been here for over 70 years, impounded I think in 1948. The thing about right now is because of all of the rain that we've been getting over the past few months, pretty much the whole winter, the lake is in flood stage now, and the overflow gates are open, which is something that is not seen very often, just once every maybe 10, 15 years, something like that. So it doesn't happen very often that we get this much rain to where extra water has to be released. They can't release enough water to relieve the flooding behind the dam through just the generator gates, so they have to open the top gates, and it is a rather impressive sight. I've seen it before, and so when I saw that the gates were open, I thought that y'all might like to see this, so let's take a look. They always do an excellent job at regulating this when this happens. And just a little bit of history, personal history. My grandfather helped build this dam, and he worked for one of the companies that was contracted to build it, and I believe it was impounded in 1948. I'll have to look that up again and see, and I'll put this information that I don't know off the top of my head right now, I'll put it all in the description below. But the original transformers down there at the substation were there up until just a few years ago, and one of my aunts brought my grandfather down here in the early 90s, and he said that those transformers that were there then were the same ones that he set when the dam was built. And the reason he knew that is because they didn't build them that way anymore, and hadn't in quite a number of years at the time. So it was interesting to seen them. I wish that they were still there, because they sure enough don't make them like that anymore. But as you can see, they've been taken out. They used to be all along that concrete strip down there, and I guess right over there to the right behind the building, are probably their replacements, and they can probably do just as much with much smaller transformers now, if that's what those are. It looks like what they are. And I wish I could take you down across the top of the dam right here. You used to be able to walk across it, and you can see the steps going down, and go in the visitor center. There was a visitor center here in this building on the far end with a photograph of the dam not long after it was built, and over there in the old parking lot, which is right behind it, right in line with the flag there, you can see all the old cars parked there, and what it looked like right after this was built. And I wish I could show you that, but after 9/11, this whole top of the dam was closed off, and it's never been reopened to the public since. And I always enjoyed walking across it. The view from the middle down the river valley was really something. You can see a little bit of it from here, not a lot. And down at the foot of those stairs is, and it looks like it's still there, it's a turbine that was in service for many years on one of the generators, and they have a plaque there that tells the years that it was in service and how many kilowatt hours of power it generated down there. Now, again, I wish I could show it to you, but they don't let anybody in there except those who work there now. So, and here you can get an idea close to what it looks like from the top of the dam there. You can see a power plant off in the distance. Now I am going to go below, and it's going to be a little bit of a hike from here to get a better look and a closer look at this. Let's see if I can get down there to it, which I'm sure I can, and get a much closer look at that. I've stopped by a boat ramp here, and it's the one I was talking about where years ago the guy was launching from a parking place. But take a look here. You can see those walkways are completely underwater. You can't even get to the boat houses rather, any longer here. Go down here and take a look. Now there's a good bit right underwater right there that people normally fish from. There are rocks and things on down in there, and the lake is very, very high, as you can see from right here. And there's also a parking lot in there. See that post over there? There's a parking lot in there where there's water right now, where these walkways go to. Natural Resources and Corps of Engineers Rangers keep their boats here, and right now, unless they use another boat to get to it, they can't get to them, and aren't going to be able to do that for a while. Now they've got a gate up here now. There didn't used to be a gate here when the guy was launching from right down here, and it says notice to visitors, park closed due to high water until further notice. Slip down here so you can see where this parking lot is. Now they used to have parallel parking here, not up this far, but right down here. You can still see some spaces, but there used to be another space right here, I believe, a long time ago. But this is where the guy was launching his boat from the ramp here. The boat ramp is out there somewhere. And you can see that the dock out there, can't get to it. And the announcement board itself is flooded. And there's somebody out there fishing the stand of trees. If you had a boat, the fishing would be probably pretty good right now. I don't know how cold this water is. Probably icy cold still. Yeah, it's pretty cold. Feels like it's starting to warm up some though. This river comes from way up in the mountains, so the lake stays cold until later on into the spring. But over there where the no parking sign is a turnaround. And if you could get in here, you could launch a boat from this parking place right here. And it's kind of convenient, actually. Park, float the boat right off the trailer. Alright, here's a picnic area that shows you how high the water pretty much is in a little more detail, a little closer up than what we're able to get at the boat ramp. And you can see where the walkway disappears right here. And you can see where the tree line is. That's where the tree line ends out there, is right around the shoreline. And you can see on beyond it on the other side the trees out in the water. And then right here, there's a walkway that goes down back this way and around between that grill and there, and then back around to the right. And no telling where this came from. And before they started releasing extra water, this was undoubtedly up here on this picnic area. We'll walk on around and see what it looks like. The dam is down that way, just so you know about where you are. Better view of the picnic table. You can see where the walkway kind of disappears out there. And you can see all the trees standing in the water out there. There's an outcropping right there. And you can see where the water has been. It's probably been all the way up here. Matter of fact, you can see the line with the leaves where it has been all the way up through here. Wish I could have gotten over here at its peak, but didn't have the opportunity. And this is where that walkway ends. It comes down through here and comes right in through here. And you can see by the arrangement of the leaves how far up it was up here. At its peak it was way up here. And something else that floated in from miles away, or who knows where, really. Now out there where you see the trees, there's an island out there. Normally this time of year you can walk from there on dry land all the way out there to it. It's not really an island, but most of the time, most of the year, that's covered in water, making an island out of that. Life jacket zone. You aren't kidding. Picnic down there, wouldn't be a bad idea to have one on. Now I am going to still go to the other part down in front of the dam and take a look, so stay tuned. That's coming up. Well, if we still got a table over here anywhere, it's going to be underwater down there somewhere. Okay, on to the next location, and it's going to be a bit of a hike to go down below, but it'll be well worth it once we get there. Here's where we start the hike down to the bottom to get a close-up view of the front of the dam. So what you've been waiting for is coming up in just a very short time. Now it's going to take me a while to get down there, so I'm not going to video the whole thing. I'll video part of it. There is some history down here that I'll mention on the way, and there's also an old iron furnace, or the remains of an old iron furnace from back before the war between the states. So we'll stop by there on the way. I'll show that to you real quick. So let's get started, head on down. It's a beautiful walk, so I'm definitely not complaining about that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've walked this trail many times, so it'll be thoroughly enjoyable, and once we get there, it'll be well worth it. Leave only footprints and take only memories. That's exactly what I intend to do. Now this trail here follows an old railroad line. Now it's not railroad as like a freight train or anything. More like kind of a mining railroad. And it went to the area of the iron furnace down below, and it followed down here, right through here. And there is a switchback down here, so they could go on down the side of the hill down there, and that road down there follows where the rail line went. Turned out to be a pretty decent day today. As temperatures in the low 60s. It's perfect for doing something like this. This is always a nice walk right here. Haven't been here in a while. About the only time I get to do anything like this anymore is when I'm shooting a video, and that's about it. Okay, we're coming up on the switchback down here. You can see where it ends right there, and then it'll cut back that way to the left and go down. Actually beyond right here. Let me show you. Alright, the old rail line went right down through there and switched back and came back this way. Now you're not really supposed to go down there, as you can see. A lot of people have, but this isn't a trail. This is what rangers call a man trail. It's kind of an unofficial trail that people have used. It's supposed to go down through here. And if you're not overly sure-footed, I guess it might be better for some to go the other way. All right. This is something that never gets old to me right here. I could sit here for several hours and just listen to this. And since we've had all the rain, this is flowing a lot more than it usually does, so you get very nice sound of the creek right here. Okay, according to the sign, we've got another half mile to go. And this isn't a bad walk. going in anyway. You may have noticed by now that this is all downhill, which makes for a nice walk. The trouble is that to leave, got to go back up, and it's all uphill. So it's not going to be so nice going back, although I don't mind really. I've seen many people out misjudge how far they go because they're going downhill on the way in, and then it's slower going back out, going uphill, and darkness catches them, and most are unprepared in places like this for such an event. Any trolls under the bridge? No, just on YouTube. Couldn't resist that one. Well, actually I could have, I just didn't. And if you are a troll, don't bother, just go back under the bridge back there. You can see how much this descends and how quick it is. See the railing up there? That's where we came from, and you see right there it's still climbing all the way up that hill. So the rate of descent is pretty good here. And there it is. Get a view of the gates coming out of the hydroelectric plant right there. Okay. Try to get an unobstructed view here. You can see a sidewalk that used to go right down through there. Again, this is all after 9/11 fenced off. Used to be a picnic table or two down there. And you used to be able to go right up through there, but as you can see, no pedestrians. I've been all the way to that fence up there. They've got cameras up there and everything, so they still don't allow anybody up there. Okay, that's a wrap. And I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe, and I would really appreciate it. And I will see you next time.